Have we talked at all this season about the Philadelphia 76ers?
Have we talked about them on the court? Maybe not. We've talked about the guy who wasn't playing a lot.
By the way, Joel Embiid.
I was going to say, go.
Just kicking booty.
MVP candidate, Joel Embiid. Go ahead and say it. Say it with your chest. Come on.
Hey,
get
man.
Your campaign manager hat on again. It's justified.
I don't know.
I
got to check and see how many games he's missed. He misses 2 more games, he's right out. I don't care if he's got Will Chamberlain numbers. True. When Chamberlain never missed a minute. When he played in Philly, he averaged 49 minutes a game because that's what you have to do to win the MVP. Jokic had like a casual 20 and 20 a couple of days ago too. It was amazing.
The two of them are putting up literal video game numbers.
So I really can't wait. I can't wait for your next.
I was just thinking about that. The straw poll,
which
might have to. Maybe we'll do 3 editions this year. I've debated the idea of doing one in the middle of the season.
Curry. I mean, people are saying Curry's in a shooting slump. He shot the ball better last year, even when he was number 1 in the straw poll by a country mile. He was still not shooting as well as he had last year. So
and Curry, a big part of his case was the Warriors had the best record in the league. That's no longer true. But like the best MVP candidates right now, we can maybe get Giannis. We can get Giannis in the mix, but
no, definitely
the best candidates are on 6th place teams. So the big men on 6th place teams that are missing their co-stars for very, very different reasons. But but getting back to the Sixers, I mean. Embiid is an absolute monster. He is an efficient 40-point, double-double machine right now.
He only averaged 40 a game last week, I believe.
It is absolutely insane how dominant he is right now. And they're winning, but they need every bit of his dominance. Seth Curry's missed this stretch. Obviously, he's a guy who offensively is a pretty significant difference maker, but this really is just, Embiid is right now, I think, again, Giannis is the one reason I'm not going to say he's clearly the best player in the Eastern Conference, but boy, is he been, he's playing the best he's ever played in his career, and he's been a beast for years.
Would it have been amazing if Giannis just like sat down with that bucket of wings and slapped it on the table, and then he just slapped what's the Milwaukee beer? Is it you can tell I'm not a beer
best
drinker.
God,
a Schlitz.
I'm gonna get him something
Schlitz.
better. I'm gonna get him something better. Milwaukee's best. That's like freshman year college type stuff.
Can you imagine if he just like put a Schlitz on there, like right on the table, and just cracked it open, and just sat back with the wing in one hand and a beer in the other? All right, guys, we lost. What do you want to say?
I got to assume the Wisconsin craft beer community produces some good stuff. Maybe ESPN will send me up there to do some research in the spring. I don't want to go up there in the winter.
There's plenty of beers there. You can go have some Millers. There's all kinds of beer.
Miller, of course, Miller. You can tell I'm not a beer drinker. Miller.
I ain't drinking Miller Lite either.
As if you've never had beers in Milwaukee, McMahon. Yeah, right. All right. So Philly. I still haven't wrapped my head around the interview that Daryl Morey gave on Philadelphia radio last week. The thing about it is he says all these things, but he's doing it for a reason. He is like Mr. MIT, so you're left to decode it.
Yeah, sometimes Daryl is very, very calculated with what he says. Sometimes Daryl just flaps his gums. Especially you get him on the radio and, he might just let loose.
The most recent flapping of gums with other teams, from what I am told, is that Philly, apparently unsatisfied still with what they've been offered, is now hoping to try to talk Ben into playing for them. Not just, holding him, but then doing whatever they got to do to talk him into playing. Having talked to the Simmons side, although not in the last 15 minutes, so just to be clear, but I could not see that happening. But
I was gonna say,
they could just stop paying. The one thing is there's this real dispute about the money. He got half of his money already because he got it advanced. So he's he has a bunch of money, but like he wants that other money. And like Philly has just like been not paying him. And like they're like, okay, we're going to take it to arbitration. And I think it's like, okay, well, we'll fight about it in 6 months or a year. But like that's the one thing that can hold over his head. Whether or not that's true, what Daryl has been telling other teams, the teams don't even know. Like sometimes these teams, I talk to these teams who tell me about when they get a trade proposal from the Sixers. And they kind of just like look at their phone and like, what was that? Like they're so crazy.
Daryl's the guy who, when they beat out the Mavericks for Dwight Howard in free agency, which was like a devastating blow to the Mavericks, his next thing to do was to send Cuban a text asking if Dirk was available via trade. Like Daryl does not care.
I know he doesn't. So, but the man has obviously made like 130 trades in his career. Like he makes trades, like people, like people throw away cards. So like he obviously does deals. So I don't know, but Bontemps, you're around this team a lot. You're around the team right now. What's this Philly team ceiling? I mean, they're getting this incredible play from Embiid, and they are in 6th place.
Yeah, they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs unless they get the Cavs or another favorable matchup. And that's what they are. Like, they don't have any chance of going farther than that with this current team. Assuming they don't trade Ben Simmons and Ben Simmons doesn't play. They're just not good enough to do more than that, no matter how well Joel is playing. And that's why I hope to make a trade in the next 2 weeks. Joel is playing as well as he's ever played. He's arguably the best player on the planet right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.